Craziest story, man, from my prison experience.
Make it a wild one, Shane.
Come on,
Yes.
Shane, do it.
Yes, I am. Okay, they had a guy that I was in a cell block at the time, right?
Everybody do time in the cell block.
Everybody. I mean, you can't miss it if
You got to
doing
make
time.
you got to make a pass through
You
there
have
one
to.
time.
You have to. Growing pains. So anyway, they had a guy, man. We had went on the yard, and just so happened I came back in off the yard a little early, right? I think I was in cell 14 in front of the fan. It was during summertime, so I had to have me a fan cell.
No air conditions, fellas.
No,
ladies.
They chose 2 TVs over air.
Oh, I remember that story.
Anyway, he was like in cell 11, man, and as I'm walking by, the prison the prison dictionary is do not look in people's cell when you pass, and you have tunnel vision. You don't know what's going on, and it's not your business.
Mind your business.
Right. Mind your business. Get you some business for 6 months. Find you some business for 6 months. You'll be out 1 year off your sentence. So anyway, as I'm passing by, man, I heard a noise, a funny sounding noise. So I kind of just glanced out my peripheral, and I seen a dude standing in the middle of the cell, butt naked. Mind you, he in a cell by himself.
Thank God.
So that's, right. So I kind of slowed down because I know that the guy pretty good, and he pretty cool, level-headed cat. So I stopped, and I went back, and I looked at him. I said, man, what's wrong with him? So when I really looked in his eyes, you can see he was spaced out. And I looked on the floor, and I seen a piece of junk about yay big. Mojo. And when I looked on the floor and I looked at him, I said, man, what's up, man? You all right? He get to screaming and hollering, loud as he possibly can.
Tripping.
Right? The next thing he done was stood on his bottom bunk and dived head first in a commode. And I didn't know what to do. I'm saying to myself, should I get the people?
Yeah, because you're supposed to be minding your business.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, so.
Because then at that point, he
And
gets
this
in
dude's
trouble.
butt naked jumping in toilets over here.
naked. So when he landed his head in the toilet, right, he didn't stop. His head in the toilet and his ass just jiggling all over the place. I'm saying to myself, what
He's
the
trying to squeeze in there.
Man, so he finally took his head out the water, he got water running all down him, and he get to swimming on the floor. He making laps on the floor. I mean, real swimming. He turning his head up like he catching air and everything. I'm saying to myself, oh my freaking God.
You know what Mojo is, right?
No, man. Sounds like a comic book drug.
It's synthetic marijuana.
Synthetic.
So how they? I'm not gonna say how they get it in there. Yeah, it's
butt cheeks.
Right.
No? Yeah, that. But you can even go further because it's nothing but a spray.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of the easiest things other than Suboxone strips to get into the penitentiary.
Right.
So guys are smoking things with the Mojo spray on it. And they used to sell in the gas stations as Spice, Mojo,
Okay.
and
Right.
and then also it doesn't pop a piss test.
Right. So people got creative.
But it's like a hallucinogen.
It's like and you never know what you're gonna get.
You'll puff it, think you're Michael Phelps for a second.
That's right. The greatest man alive in the pool. But it just so happened he was on the floor with no water.
butt naked.
Butt naked.
But he thought
in his mind,
he was in the ocean.
Him and Michael
He was swinging
Phelps.
across the English
That's
Channel.
right. That's right. Him and Michael Phelps was doing 100 meter, and he was way.
So what
way
wound
ahead.
up happening? He shook back.
I don't know, cause I stood there like maybe another 2 seconds, and I walked off. I walked off when the sergeant came to the door. The sergeant said, "Hey man, Shane, who down there hollering?" I said, well, "I don't know. I ain't hearing anything."
You had got you some business.
That's right. I said, "I don't know, cause you opened up cell 14 for me."
I didn't see nothing.
And normally they'll leave my cell open because I was the orderly on the tier, right? Soon as she opened it, I looked out and said, "Close it back, hurry up, close it back."
Tell the folks out in the real free world what the orderly is.
Orderly in prison is, because I want to be politically correct before I get into the actual answer of it. It's a job, right? So you keep the tier clean. any trash, anybody need anything to pass. Sometimes they let you warm food, sometimes they don't let you warm food. They don't have any remote control, so you have to be on the till to turn the TV for the guys. You know, just differently errands that you have to run. Now, technically speaking, all their job is in solitary solitude. I mean, because if you chosen to be the orderly, you can't say no, I don't want it. Because but most guys want the orderly because they
want to move around. That's how you get
I mean, they, you know what I mean, because you serve child, all 3 childs when they get there, you clean the shower.
Gives you something to do.
You're a housekeeper pretty much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're a housekeeper among grown men, and that's the crazy part. If somebody trip out, like on the mojo, and they throw all up, you're not gonna go get the people. You're gonna jose him. You're gonna go get a broom, mop, some chemicals, gonna bring it to him. When he shake back, you're gonna let him clean up his cell.
And hopefully he shakes back.
Hopefully he shake back, because I had a really good friend of mine died in the shower. He was trying to go hide and smoke his mojo from his partners because he didn't want them to know that he had it. And he hit it and caught a massive heart attack.
Damn.
A massive heart attack in the shower, and he died of synthetic marijuana.
Kids at home, don't do drugs.
It'll get you.
It'll get you every time. It'll get you every time.
This is Scott with Penthouse Penitentiary's 2 Penthouses podcast.
There we go.
On the left is your best friend.
Howdy.
Louisiana's best friend in real estate.
There you go.
Big ups to Louisiana.
Shout out.
On the right of me is Beverly, but the streets know him as Shane.
Yes. How are the people doing, man? How are the people doing?
Thank you for coming, Shane.
Yes,
Beverly,
sir.
Shane.
Yes,
Which
sir.
one am I calling you?
You calling me Shane? Actually.
Okay, and we're gonna tell y'all why he's got 2 names later on, but for the time being,
It's Shane to you.
Shane to you. Shane, tell us a little bit about your upbringing, where you're from, what and whatever you need to tell us about that, but what led you to prison.
Okay, man. I come from a single parent home in New Orleans, Louisiana.
Everybody's from New Orleans.
Right. Now, my dad was real prevalent in my life. He just didn't stay with my mom's.
But involved.
Real involved.
Good.
Real involved.
That's why you're such a decent human being.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Gotta
sir.
have a dad, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. God bless his soul. He died of COVID in 2020. So, anyway, man, I come from poverty, man. I'm out of the 6th Ward, man. I'm out of the Lafitte Project, man. I was born and partially raised there.
Isn't that what they used to call 6th Ward hardheads?
7th Ward hardheads.
7th Ward. I knew it was one of them.
We fly guys. Guys out the 6th Ward, they call us fly
You ain't
guys.
got a tattoo on one arm that says fly, another arm says
No,
guy?
no, actually I had a 6th Ward on me, though. Crying out loud later.
Hey, some of them dudes in penitentiary, they got hard head written backwards, so it's head hard.
Right, hit hard. That's right.
Dude, the tattoo artist didn't catch it.
Man, so growing up in the streets of New Orleans, man, it was real crazy. I started selling drugs when I was 9 years old. Started selling heroin when I was 9 years old, man.
What made you jump into the game so early?
We had a situation where my mom's was there, but she wasn't really there.
Working?
No, she was doing a lot of odd jobs.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? And my belief was, my assumption was that she probably was on drugs as well. And, you know, a lot of trauma dealing with that whole situation. So I felt like that I had to, you know, produce for my family, take care of my family. At 9 years old, I had to be the leader of the household. And
it's a big responsibility.
right, and I found heroin. Actually, heroin was given to me in my house. You know what I mean? I'm not going to go into details of who, what, when, and how.
Yeah.
But heroin was given to me in my household, man. And
To do or sell?
no, to sell.
Okay.
To sell. I went out and sold it, man. I made like $200, $210, matter of fact. Went, brought some groceries for the house, put something on the table, you know what I mean?
For a
And
9-year-old, $200.
for just walking out of my door.
That's out.
And I fell in love with the drug trade because I seen how easy money was. But at the same time, what I didn't understand was it sent me on a spiral because I adapted so many bad behaviors. I already had bad behavior because of the community that I grew up in. Mm-hmm. All I seen was people making bad decisions or wrong decisions. So I fell into that cycle, and I fell into it so early where it consumed my soul. at one time, the only thing you can tell me is about drugs. I had no other conversation. So the kind of springboard from there, I had a few little mishaps when I was a juvenile, stealing cars. I mean, because I was into fast cars when I was young. So at 17 years old, I remember vividly. At 17 years old, my life took a turn. Every day I was faced with folks in the world, but my life really took a turn at 17 years old. I had met a guy from Tacoma, Washington, right outside of Seattle, and me and the guy jumped it off real fast down in New Orleans. He was into the drug trade as well, and he said that he'll send me a kilo of heroin, man, for $50,000, man. I flew out there to Tacoma. I had a book sack. I mean, I never forget it. I flew to Tacoma, Washington. I checked myself in a hotel in Seattle.
With 50 bands on you?
No, I had 42.
I was going to try to get it.
Make a deal.
I had 42,000. What person in this world
wouldn't take 42?
Cash money.
Probably getting it for 30.
But something happened in that room. I was in that room by myself, man, and I was reflecting over my life, my short span of life at that time. And I pulled all the money out on the bed, and I'm sitting in the corner against the wall, and I cried my heart out. I cried like a real baby because at that moment in my life, I didn't care about myself. My family didn't care about me. The only thing that mattered to me at that moment was producing. Mm-hmm. I was into the mass production. If I can't produce, I'm just another story. I'm just another kid that's on the street that's trying to figure life out at that time. So what I done was, because I graduated from high school. I mean, through all the trauma and turmoil, I still graduated from high school. I decided, hey, man, let me take my ACT, man. Let me just try it. Maybe give me another out. Year and a half later, got accepted in Southern University. Life was grand. Met me
Suno or Baton Rouge?
Baton Rouge.
Okay.
Go Jags.
So I moved to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Now, mind you, I was already transporting back and forth to Baton Rouge because I was trying to get heroin on the streets of Baton Rouge before Baton Rouge even knew about heroin. Mm-hmm. So, at the time I was engaged to a woman named, I'm not going to call her name, but she my best friend right now. That's my older little girl, Moms. I have
nice.
Me and her have a daughter right now. My daughter is 24 years old. She in the Air Force.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you for her service.
Yes, indeed, man.
Let her know I said that.
You know I am. So, turned 18, turned 19, life took a course. I was working, wasn't in the game. I worked BFI, which is garbage
trash,
truck.
yeah.
Jumped on the back of garbage trucks. I worked at Elberson on College Drive.
Yeah.
I worked at Applebee's.
We used to steal kegs out of there. That's for a different story.
I probably was there, man, but I probably saw you and
My
let
bad.
you go.
Well, yeah, you may have been working there when I was there. I don't think, though. It was about 16, 17, 18 years old.
Right. So that's crazy, right? So from there, man, I done some construction work, done a bunch of odd jobs. When you caught up in the perpetual cycle of making bad decisions, mm-hmm. It's crazy because that's your first thought. Because you're not used to making the right decisions.
To learn behavior.
Right. Exactly. So life was hard on me, man. I mean, life was hard. I didn't have any money like talking about it, and I'm used to having something. So what I done was, man, I jumped back in the game, man. Instead of selling heroin, man, I started selling cocaine. I mean, it was a better product in the area I was in. Mm-hmm. It was,
party drug.
Right, exactly.
You had to worry about people ODing and dying.
Well, none of that.
Baton Rouge is party city.
Yeah.
Right, jigger.
Party drug.
Jigger city.
Jigger.
So I started selling coke, man. In that kind of, from that point forward, man, that led me on a path. That was the state of my demise. Mm-hmm. Because I ended up fronting some guys some cocaine, man, and I didn't know at the time and at the moment that Baton Rouge guys, not all, but Baton Rouge guys at the time, didn't like guys from New Orleans. They thought we were city slickers. That's how they felt because nobody changed that. So a guy went with his move on me, man. He kept my coat. I mean, it was 4.5 ounces of coke. That's a lot of money at that time right there. And we talking about I had turned 20 years old, so this was in '98 at the very beginning, like in February. So
1 year before, back that ass up, man.
1 year. I was actually in jail when the greatest album Juvenile ever put out. I was in jail watching TV.
400 degrees.
Right. Like she be like, man, Michael Jordan last championship. I'm watching the TV. I'm saying, wow, what happened to me? So guy went with his move, man, and I caught up with him. I had a fall partner on his charge that I'm on, and I speak candidly about it because my heart still hurt because of the pain and the destruction that it caused to another family, not just my family and not myself, but another family. I caused a lot of destruction to those people because when I upped that gun that day, man, I pulled that trigger with no remorse, no thought, no nothing. I saw him in his broad daylight, 11:30 in the morning. I saw him, man, and at that moment, I just couldn't let him go. It was eating at me. It ate at me for like 4 months. Saying to myself, man, whenever I see you, man, ain't nobody ever jack me, period. I used to do jacking. So, so when I saw him.
The code of the streets, though, is different from the code of
totally different
life.
So
totally different.
He just popped up? He popped up, or were you?
No, actually, I'm glad you asked that. I was going to the store to get me a cold drink and some Laffy Taffies, right? Because
love Laffy Taffy.
I love them, man.
I like the purple ones.
Well, actually, I don't eat them anymore because of that incident.
Yeah, it ruins
Yeah,
the
I
taste in
guess
your
that
mouth.
would.
Yes,
Ruins
yes,
the taste in your mouth.
yes.
That would kind of make me stop, too.
Yeah.
Me and my fall partner was going to Lafayette that morning. And because my little girl mom's is from Lafayette, my BM is from Lafayette. So we was going to go out there and chill with her for a minute. And I was sitting in the store, and he pulled up on side of me. He was oblivious to, he was totally, didn't even know I was sitting in the car. And when I seen him, I'm like, what the? I know this can't be. We went in the store. When he came out, I was standing right there in front of him.
What he looked like? Like, what was his face when he saw it was you?
Honestly, man, I don't remember because as soon as he walked out the store, he took maybe 4 steps, and I walked straight up to him and pulled the trigger. Pulled the trigger, hit him 3 times. 3 times. 1 time in the face, 1 time in the side, 1 time somewhere in his stomach, in his torso area. Got in my car, man, and I left. Somebody ended up getting my license plate, though. And later on that night, actually it was after 12 o'clock, the detectives came to the apartment, and my little girl moms was there, and she told them that she hadn't seen me, which was the truth. She hadn't seen me because I hadn't went home or anything like that. I went back to where I thought I knew best, New Orleans. So I went to New Orleans, man, and life from that point forward, they put a arrest warrant out for my arrest, so on and so forth. I met with my family, sat down with my fam, and we talked about it. And I told them, man, I'm not gonna turn myself in. Whenever they catch me, they catch me. But they did. They caught me at my mom's house. I went to my mom's house early one morning. No, I shouldn't have went, but I still went anyway, man, because she was going through some personal stuff. So I went to go see her, and the police came in. Now, mind you, back then I had goals in my mouth. I had 4 across the top, right? When the incident happened, I took my goals out. So when the police walk in, everybody's sitting at the table because it was a regular, normal routine when they come to the house. This was like 21 days after
the
incident happened. So I'm sitting at the table, man, and they come in. Police asking me, hey, man, who are you? I'm like, oh, my name Beverly. He like, man, you got identification? I'm like, yeah, because mind you, they're looking for Shane, and we're going to get into that.
With the goals in his mouth.
With the goals in his mouth. I have no goals in my mouth. They're looking for a curly top. I'm bald-headed. I'm like, man, hey, man. He like, well, who are you to the family? Like, Shane, my brother, man. I stay out in Cincinnati, man. I just came down kind of see what's going on. He was like, all right, give me your identification. So I gave it to him. He went outside and rang my name. Came back clean in the whistle. I never had an arrest at that time or adult charge at that time, so he had nothing to go on. He came back in and gave him my ID back. Just so happened when they searched in the house, they had a woman walk in, and she at the time was working out the FBI office in New Orleans. She walked in and walked by the table and stopped and said, hey man, here you go right here, handcuff this man. They hacked me up, handcuffed me. Now I was wondering, how this woman know me? The reason why she knew me because in 1996, we was my project, guys in my project was under investigation for drug dealing. I was one of the people that was under surveillance, but I didn't know at the time. And I was like, but they never knew my name because I didn't have a criminal record. And like when they came arrest like the 17 guys, I was one of the guys they missed. And they didn't never worry about it. And I vanished after my partners got arrested. I vanished for a nice little while, kind of moving around, staying here, staying there. So I'm saying to myself, wow, who is this? But I found that out years later through me investigating my paperwork, looking at different things, how they found this tip. So that's what led me to prison, man. They charged me with first-degree murder, and attempted armed robbery at the time because my fall partner got arrested before I did. Like I told y'all, and my fall partner told them that I was trying to rob the guy, which wasn't true. He was just trying to make up a story to bail himself out.
So your fall partner essentially spilled the beans? Yeah,
my fall partner spilled the beans on me.
Did y'all do time together at Angola?
Actually, no, man, because they sent him. He ended up getting principal after, accessory after the fact, and he ended up getting 4 years on the charge. 4.
And so what they I guess like he said that you were trying to rob him just to put a better like more stuff on you. Is that kind of a
yeah, change the narrative. I mean, because if he wouldn't have said that, that mean that he would have been directly involved.
Implicated.
Right, some kind of way. So, hey, baby. So, so
tell everybody out there what just happened because they're gonna be wondering.
Oh, I'm sorry. My fiance just chimed in, man, and I was speaking to her saying, "Hey, baby," because she at work as well. So
Shane's live right now.
Yeah, I'm live right now.
Check him out.
Yeah. I'm live on Instagram right now, man. 6 for life, 6 for life _24 years _successful. That's my handle.
6 Ward.
That's right.
6 Ward.
So, man, that's what led me to prison, man.
What year did you go to prison?
I went to prison in 1998.
98.
Yes. I got arrested May 21st in 1998.
And so you got convicted to what? What was your time? They gave you life or?
No, man. What ended up happening was I pled guilty to manslaughter.
Okay.
Right. I pled guilty to manslaughter, and they sentenced me to the maximum sentence, which is 40 years as a first-time offender. Never had a criminal record in my entire life, and they sentenced me to 40 years. The lawyer that I had at the time, which was a sellout guy, and he never even defended a murder case. I didn't know any of this because when they was talking in court, it sounded like Chinese to me because I was ignorant of the law. I was always on the wrong side of it. I never took time out to educate myself. Possibly when I do go to jail, at least I can speak the same language as them. I mean, we all kind of like that. So
I didn't know that either.
Right. So I ended up pleading guilty in the blind, man. They sentenced me to 40 years, man. And
possibility of parole or no?
No possibility of parole, suspension of sentence, anything like that. But when God is for you, when God have things for you, for your life, sometimes it doesn't move the way that you think it should move in your mind. But it's going to work out if you continue to kind of line yourself up and understand what's going on. In 2019, man, they had a lot of guys that formerly incarcerated guys I'm talking about. They kept pitching the idea that, hey, man, look, man, we have guys in jail that's first-time offenders that's doing extensive amount of time.
Talking about Andrew and them?
Andrew, Kiana Calloway, Norris Henderson, Chico
Vote.
Norris.
Okay.
So
I know the guys.
Right. Governor Epp was heaven sent for prison reform.
Yeah.
When Governor Edwards got in office, that's the platform that Governor Edwards ran on, prison reform. He want to do this in this amount of time. So through all the efforts of a lot of people, man, a lot of people, and it's so many people to name. I'm sorry if I didn't name you, but you know you're in my heart. The legislator passed a bill, a criminal reform package in 2017, but it was for nonviolent guys. In 2019, another bill went up to implement good time, take 85% off the table, because the law was 85% when I went to prison, but now it's 65% for any violent offenders. So they was trying to see how they're going to work it to try to go retroactive, but they couldn't get the retroactivity of it passed. So what they done was, some genius from LSU, I forget her name, she went back and looked at the good time laws in Louisiana all the way back to 1996 or 95, when you was doing 138, which is half of your time. You get sentenced to 40 years, you was doing 20 years. So she went look back and try to see how the language was. And guess what? She found exactly what she wanted. So what they done was they presented back to the legislator and say, hey, well, look, Louisiana law, the criminal law, states this. We can implement those things right now and get around guys that's in prison that's on 85%, changing it to 65%. We don't have to make it retroactive, but make all these guys who were sentenced to 30 or more years, have been down 20 or more years, make them eligible for parole immediately. And that's what happened in my situation. So after 24 years and 7 months in prison,
the door swung open.
The door swung open in 2021. And November the 1st, 2021, I received a paper in the mail and told me I have a parole date, February the 2nd of 2022.
Damn.
This year. This year, 8 months ago. And I was like, what? Whoa, slow down. I'm not ready for this. Because the reason why I say I'm not ready for it, I had 273 write-ups in prison. I had done extensive cell block time. I've been in the block 16 times. Done 211 days in one cell by myself. But even though I done all that, I still was madly involved in the rehabilitation or the reformation of myself, right? Because I participated in JCs, big up to JCs. I never done Toastmasters because I felt like I was a drug dealer all my life. I had a mouthpiece out this world. Nobody never had to teach me how to talk. I always sold a product. So I received, I got carpentry, welding. I missed AC and aura, computer tech. I got NCCER. NCCER, thank you, NCCER, in a slew of certificates. I actually started my own self-help program in prison, which is my nonprofit program right now, Civic Leadership Association.
Shout out.
What's the website? Or you have a Facebook?
No, not yet.
CLA.
CLA.
Coming to a website near you.
Like and subscribe when you see it. It'll be there whenever this podcast comes out.
That's right.
So let's talk, before we get into too much of your release, what were some of the greatest challenges you faced whenever you went to the penitentiary? And it was still a bloody Angola at the time, correct?
Yes, it was. Yes.
Shout out to the podcast.
Shout out to the
Bloody
podcast.
Angola.
Bloody Angola.
Woody Overton and Jim Chapman.
Birthday boy, Jim Chapman.
Birthday
boy too.
That's
I
right.
forgot. Jim,
25 years young.
What you, 22, 23? Like a spring chicken back there, head on glisten.
Looking good, too.
Hey, smiling from ear to ear, everybody. I wish y'all saw what we see now.
He's a little red. He's a little.
His face is bloody Angola red.
Blushed. Anyways, what was some of the, as a young, how old were you?
When I into the system, I was 22.
So as a 20, and I went around the same time. I was 23.
I was 22.
So even though we come from the streets, even though we've been exposed to a lot of violence in the streets,
Right.
even though in our head we are the hardest on the streets, which we're usually not, but in our head we are.
Right.
What was your fear? What was your challenge getting into the penitentiary? Around people that are really
Hard.
about
cold,
that life.
Emotionally, guys.
Yeah, dudes with no souls.
I would say my biggest fear was not making it out. I thought actually somebody was gonna kill me because of the mentality that I had then. I had a mentality at the time, man. You not gonna say nothing to me out of the way. You not gonna
It's
look
up.
at me. Know what I mean? But the hardest times fighting. I never had a problem with the fighting because I boxed for like 8 years, right? So I never had a problem with the fighting, with the physical.
Yeah, but they don't play with fists usually.
No, I mean big old crazy knives, big old knives. So my biggest obstacle was actually making better decisions. And
You crashed out when you first went.
yeah, I mean, man,
Oh, yeah.
look, man, I went to the system May 4th, man, 2001, when I got to Angola, right? May 4th. May 19th, I was in the cell. Reason why I went to the cell was because I had to go in the field. I went to my infirmary call out, so on and so forth. That was Monday through Wednesday. Wednesday, they tell me be at the back gate. When I get to the back gate and I get in the field.
You had Brogaines?
I had Brogan.
State issue jeans?
Yeah, the
Fresh blues?
The whole nine. Now, the good thing for me was before I got to the pen, a lot of guys knew I was coming because I had a lot of homeboys that I was josting on the street before I went to jail. So, sending them pictures, money orders. So once I got locked up and they heard about it and they heard how much time I had caught, when I get up there, man, they got bags, clothes, food, pretty much laid me out. I mean,
Gift baskets.
Right, but I wasn't ready for the physical.
Gift baskets. I never heard of it like that.
I wasn't ready for the physical part. So
my
very first day in the field, I was so amazed and so like, man, this is
real.
Slick. I mean, I'm really you pick cotton. I seen that on Color Purple. Y'all tripping.
Yeah.
So
That's
guess
real
what
life.
I done? I played like I was deaf. I swear to you. Scott, listen, man, hey, bro. I played like I was deaf. So the man the man that's running the line, he can't really say if I'm deaf or not deaf. He don't really know. He don't have an understanding of what's really going on inside of my head. So when we went in for lunch, he told me, don't come back out. And I'm okay. So one of my homeboys pull up and like, look, hey, Sarge, write it down for him. So the man come out with his pad and his pen. He said, do not come back out here. And he showed it to me. And I done this. Went in a dome. I took 2 erasers, put them in my ears, and pushed them as far as they can go. Hey, man.
Hey, you gotta sell it.
Hey,
you gotta
man,
sell it.
you have to sell it. I mean, so they let me lay, right? They let me lay for a nice little while. Show you how God worked, though. They let me lay.
You had a duty status?
They gave me a temporary duty status. They brought me to the infirmary 2 days later, and the doctor went in my ears and
Seeing them erasing?
See the erasers said nothing wrong
said,
with
boy,
you. What's wrong
what
with
you got in your ears?
So the man gave me an irrigation ordeal, flushed my ears out, and roped me up.
You was back of hearing, dude.
Right, and roped me up, man.
It's a miracle.
Hey, you know those videos you see on social media where they have, and I hate these videos just because they don't represent the deaf community well as far as the ones that you signed, but the kids that hear for the first time or people that hear, it's like, oh,
right.
You could have been on one of those.
Man, I wish I would have known about that. So they locked me up, man.
Well, look, let me ask you this. When you went in to the penitentiary as a young man, did you have family, Joseph and you? Did you have, other than the few homeboys you had right when you were there, I'm sure they all trickled away as they always do.
Yes, they
Who
did.
was your what was your biggest challenge with your family being in prison?
Mind you, Katrina hit in 2005.
Wiped everything out.
Right. So before Katrina, you know, I had family come see me. When Katrina hit,
Mom, dad, aunt, uncle.
my mom's, my aunt, my sister.
Okay.
Right. My dad never came inside of prison. And I mean, he told me that when I got locked up, I'd never come see you. I can't. I'm my dad's only child. Mm-hmm. He told me I'd never come see you. And he was a man of his word. He was a real disciplined military man. So what he said, that's what it was. When Katrina hit, man, all mayhem cut loose. And check. Didn't hear from my immediate family for over 10 plus years, except my sister and my aunt. My sister went to San Antonio, but because I was still in prison, she relocated to Thibodaux, Louisiana. She could have made a home in San Antonio where she was, but she came back and she made a vow to me, as long as you in prison, I'm gonna stay in Louisiana.
That's solid.
And my aunt done the same thing. My aunt, one of my mom's sister, done the same thing. And because of those two women, because my partners was non and void.
Look, isn't it crazy how when you're on the street, you're the man?
What up, Rock? Big shout out to my boy KR, man.
What up, Rock? It's your boy Scott B in the house.
Shout out, Rock.
Right.
Can you smell what the Rock is
He a
doing?
boxer. He got a fight coming up, man.
Good luck out there.
Gary Payton.
That's who that is?
Yeah, that's who.
Gary Payton, where's he fighting at?
He fighting in New Orleans.
Harris?
I don't know the exact location, but I'll let you know.
What's the date?
The 3rd of December.
I like going and watching fights, man.
Me too. I love him. He only lost one fight so far. I mean, he really
is
good.
He heavyweight, lightweight?
He heavyweight.
Featherweight?
Heavyweight.
I like watching
And he done
heavyweight.
That's because they knock people out.
Oh, he was on the boxing team for Angola?
No, he was on the boxing team at Hunt.
Okay.
At Hunt. I mean, this guy could have been an NBA, NFL.
Was you up there with what they call him? Gorilla Black or no? The dude that fought Mike Tyson.
Etienne. His nickname is
I thought it was like Gorilla Black or something.
Black Rhino.
Black Rhino.
Me and Black Rhino met in Hunts because my Angola stay was short. They transferred me to Hunt. I've done 19 years at Hunt.
Oh, all right.
Right.
So you know Edric Theory.
Of course I do.
Theory.
Umar.
The
great Udi Moore. Yes, I do.
That's my boy, man.
He a signer too.
Yeah.
Real educated. Man.
Yeah, man, he's doing really good, dude.
Yes. Oh, he home?
No, I'm talking about like in there. I mean, as far as you could do in there, but he switched over face and everything, I think.
Y'all were talking about how, isn't it funny how whenever you're the man in the streets and when you get locked up, you end up being...
Oh, forgotten about. Sorry, everybody out there. We have ADHD.
Man, we're promoting boxing. We're also promoters. Go check out our guy, December when?
Rock.
KR too dope. That's his handle.
Yeah, when you're on the street, you the man. When you go to prison, you forget it. I can count on 2 fingers who jokes me. My mama.
Yes.
And my grandparents.
Never fail. They will never let you down. It doesn't matter what situation you're in.
But friends, I had a million friends on the streets.
I was one of them.
Yeah, Scott forgot about me. He didn't write me down one time.
Hey, man.
He looked at my pictures when I posted them from Facebook in the penitentiary.
I'm like, how does you get a phone? Through the cheeks, probably.
Anyway, so yeah, man. Well, at least you had some support.
Yes.
But you did most of your time at Hunt.
Yes, I've done 19 years.
And that's where you did all the vocational programs and stuff.
Yes, that's where I accomplished a lot of things, man.
So you used to probably see me as when I used to go.
I know you used to come sign.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
in the C building, intake building.
Now, my favorite thing about going to Hunts for that class was the Who Dat Cafe.
Of course, it's everybody's favorite. Any prison
I had to make
from.
Sure every time I come, my Who Dat trays was set up.
Most definitely.
That's food for those of y'all don't know. They sell at Angola and Hunt specifically. They sell free food trays.
Right.
So you might get barbecue chicken, shrimp.
Right.
It was the highlight of every trip.
Fried chicken strip, fried chicken. I mean, they always have a special, but the menu is so vast. Just like you, actually, the the setup itself is like you walking in a restaurant, and not to cut you off, I'm sorry about that. The perception, because I was behind the creation. I was one of the guys behind the creation. Before that, we had vending machines, right? But they had an area that was nice to build a kitchen and everything, right? But the whole concept behind it is this: when your family come see you, they want to make sure that they're in a nice environment, so they don't have the stress out. They don't want to see you at your worst, so you have to put on your best clothes, tuck your shirt in your pants. But what's misleading about that is this: the young guys that come see their dads or their uncles and grandfathers, so on and so forth, in their mind, their perception of prison is when they walk in the visiting shed, they think it's all good. So they get a sense of,
oh, he's all right.
Right. And not only that, when I come through, I'm going to be straight too. So they fear of going to prison is out the door, because guys in prison have cell phones, they have, whatever, so they kind of keep in contact, and they fool the people that's supporting them or their partners, especially like their nephews and stuff like that. They think it's all good. I mean, they making money. So, I had a young guy actually tell me this. I had a young guy tell me that, man, I'd rather be in jail, man, because it seems like y'all getting more money than we getting out here on the street. That's a false concept of what reality really is. Yeah,
man.
That is.
So, look, what year did you come home?
2022, 8 months ago.
8 months ago.
8 months ago.
Now, I usually have people that have extensive amounts of time of freedom.
Right.
I brought Shane on just because I've been watching him move. I know he's on his way to being a success story. He's already involved in so many different things, and I'm going to let you talk about that in a second. Right. But let me ask you this. So, one sentence, what would you say your greatest challenge of getting released so quickly without being prepared? But you were prepared because you took a lot of educational classes in prison. Right. But what was your greatest challenge coming home? And I have to ask this because I asked everybody. Did you cry when they racked them bars back? When you smelled that air?
My greatest fear that I continue to have right now today, the fear of somebody knocking on my door and telling me, hey, man, you done something. You was accused of something, and we here to arrest you. I struggle with that thought every day.
Even though you're not doing nothing?
Even though I'm not doing nothing. But just the trauma that I suffer from doing 24 years and 7 months. Yeah. That's how I feel like any given
paranoid.
moment.
Yeah. They're going to come back and take the freedom that you got.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Did I cry? Yes, I did, but I cry in silence, though. I mean, because when I came home, Keanu Calloway, y'all know him, he was at the gate with the camera in my face. I mean, I'm trying to hug my girl.
You wasn't about to cry on camera.
Right. Look, I'm trying to hug my girl, and he right there with the camera in my face. How does it feel to be doing 24 years y'all in prison? I'm saying myself, hold up, man.
You felt like a part-time celebrity, though.
Man, I did, man.
Because you ain't seen no cameras like that in 24 years.
24 years, probably none of my
So
whole
Keanu
life.
come pull up with the whole crew.
Oh, you thought he was like bringing that space technology or something.
Right. I mean, I was lost.
You thought you was on CNN.
You know,
broadcasting little old me.
I'm like, hey, man, I'm famous right now, man. So,
well, I'm gonna tell you, I boohooed like a baby.
I did too that night when I got home. I got in the shower.
When you hear that,
yes,
and I didn't cry right then and there, but it wasn't far from there to the front door, and I'm walking, and I open up, my grandpa's with me.
Wow.
And I breathe that first breath. And my lip just go.
Let it go.
It's
now,
like all the years of just wanting to cry, emotion, this and stuff like that just came out.
Pent up, man.
So I cried. I shed some tears
to
the truck.
Right.
And then
you needed that.
I needed that, bro.
You needed that.
Because the only other time I ever cried while I was gone is like after visit, hit the shower.
Right.
Can't let nobody see you.
And that's what I done when I came home, man. I took a shower, man. When I took a shower, that's why I cried. Because I was so used to crying.
You gotta suppress it.
Right, you have to. I mean, you know, because you come.
Isn't that sad though?
Yeah, it is.
You live in such a hard environment that the first sign of a tear, dudes would
they predators.
Prey on you.
Yes.
As it is a sign of weakness.
Yes.
When we know that today, men can cry, man. You know what I'm saying?
And it's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, you can cry whenever, man. I mean, so because like I said, man,
that's what got a lot of us in the situations that we are.
Because we didn't cry.
No,
we couldn't express it.
Yeah, couldn't express ourselves.
I mean, so
we had to be Billy Badass.
Right, 24 hours.
24 hours. So, man, I heard you talk about your challenge, man. But tell everybody out there. Oh, you have to tell this.
What,
this man served 24 years as a different human being and came home with a clean rap sheet.
What?
Tell him about it.
Yes, man. Here's the long, short story. My street name is Shane. Everybody know me by Shane.
Big Shane.
I had my family is a real popular family in New Orleans. Our last name is Johnson.
Yeah.
Johnson and Brown, where everybody knew my family. So anyway, when I got arrested, man, my fall partner told the people that my name was Shane Johnson because that's all he ever knew. He didn't go to school or anything with me. A couple of years younger than me. So the only name that he ever knew me by was the name that everybody called me, which is Shane. Shane was an uncle of mine. And they started calling me Lil Shane. Then Lil dropped off, and they just started calling me Shane. So my fall partner, that's all he ever knew. The police didn't have anything to run me by. So when I got arrested, I told them a fake birthday, a fake Social Security number.
As everybody should. No, I'm just joking.
And honestly, so I done 24 years and 7 months as Shane Johnson. Right? When I came home.
I'm not saying the incarceration was luck.
God, man.
Yeah,
when God have it for you. That's what it is.
Every man dreams of coming home with a clean slate.
Yes.
My boy.
Yes.
Probably the first human being I've ever heard of to come home after 24 years with no rap sheet.
With none.
That's wild.
With none, man. And it's...
The help it must have given you, though, to be able to do that and get employment without question.
Right. Now, let me share this with you right fast. My employment, I came home in February the 17th. I came home February the 21st. I went to Louisiana Workforce. Now, mind you, when I came home, I was released with $138.36. That was my money out of my own account. Yeah. So I was up. I'm like, yeah. Look, on a debit card. I had never used a debit card before at that time. So when I came home, but that's the only resources that I had, right? So when I got released, on the 17th, on the 21st, I went to Louisiana Workforce with all my certificates, everything that I accomplished, all my trades. Sat down, and the woman told me to go on the computer and fill everything out. I done everything. Pretty much she walked me through it, so on and so forth. At the end of it, leave. I go back the next day, and she said, hey, I found you a job at Wendy's. I wasn't happy.
Oh, shit.
I said, Wendy's? Are you sick, ma'am? Do you see my certs? Did you look at them good? I'm qualified. I mean, she like, I understand that, sir, but, you just got released from prison. So, people don't want to take a chance. I'm like, okay, well, when can I start at Wendy's? She like, you can start next week. I'm like, okay, fine. But in the back of my mind, I am not working at Wendy's. No.
Yeah.
Hell no. So guess what I done?
What?
2 days later, I went to the courthouse. I went in, talked to the secretary, and told her that I need to see the head sheriff of the parish that I stay in. She said, all right, cool. Got on the phone. Guy said, come on in. I went in. Good thing is they had another guy that knew the sheriff, and he the one introduced us. He was with me, but he just told me, but I told him, Dan, I'm going to do all the talking. So when we got in, I told the sheriff my story. Sat down in front of him and told him my story, and I said, I'm a convicted murderer, and I started off. And I told him my story. I said, I live in your parish. I need a job. Here go my certifications. This is what I can do. And I'm real skilled at it. I mastered these skills in prison. I mastered these skills. This is what I can do. Guy got on the phone, got off the phone, and gave me a phone number. Said, man, this guy said, call him tomorrow. I called a guy that next day. The guy said, look, man, I got a beautiful job for you, man. I need to go take your OSHA call and your sights test and a fit test. I done that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Fit for welding.
Fit, yeah, for welding and for blasting. I mean, you have to take a fit test to make sure that your lungs and everything scrape. I passed it with ease.
Oh, you talking about a physical?
A physical.
Okay.
Yes.
I thought you meant, okay, I got you.
No. Yeah. You had to, the layman terms is a physical, but they just call it a fit
Yeah,
test.
that's layman.
Dude, you the one who thought it was something else. Me and Shane, we got it.
Right.
I knew
They call me Little Layman now.
So, that was Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I went back to the office, to the main office, turned in all my paperwork. That Monday, the guy said, you start tomorrow. That next day, I reported to Exxon plant. And it's crazy.
So showed for Wendy's. Jeez, Louise.
And I need you brothers, and I need our viewers to understand and know this. Nothing that I done was spectacular. I'm humbled by everything, but I understand exactly where my help came from. It wasn't me.
God did.
Put that on God. Because technically speaking, I don't supposed to be sitting here because I had 5 people oppose my parole hearing.
Really?
5.
You had victim opposition?
Victim opposition, police opposition, and DA opposition. I spoke for 46 minutes at my parole hearing. Me. They was going to deny me because the energy was bad in the room.
Let me tell y'all something. I watch parole hearings, and I hate them.
Yes.
For the specific reason that I don't feel like the parole board gives opportunity to the guys who really deserve it.
Big shout out, Kiana, man. I see you, man.
Whoa, Kiana. And they don't just grant paroles.
Yes, player test. I hear you. Love you, boy.
They don't just
Shane, you trip.
Yeah.
So they don't just grant parole to anybody. So the fact that they granted you parole with 5, because usually if you got 1 victim opposition,
right, you did.
You did.
It's over with.
So, anyways, they granted you parole.
I spoke for 46 minutes. They got so sick of me talking. They said, "Hey, Mr. Johnson, you need to wrap it up." I said, "Yes." I kept talking. Hey, sir, shut up. We need a vote. I said, "Oh, I'm sorry," and they granted it.
That's wild.
That's wild.
That's a blessing because that don't happen often. I watched the parole hearings. I hate them.
No, it doesn't.
They piss me off.
Yes, every time. Stand up.
So tell the world real quick because we're about out of time.
Yes,
tell
sir.
them what all you're doing now.
Okay, right now, man, in the process of I'm about to get married.
Yeah.
I'm about to get married.
Congrats.
About to get married, man.
They calling him Swagger Fresh Freddy out there.
That's right. I'm about to get married, man. Gonna be one big party. White tennis shoe affair only. You have to wear white tennis shoes.
I got my G-Nikes ready right now.
I got a couple of Ultra Boosts on deck for it. I better get my invite in the mail.
Dude, can I bust out some Jabot classics?
No, man, you have to wear the suit.
Hey, you gotta dress nice. This guy's no class. You gotta dress nice, but you just have to have white shoes.
Man, I'm gonna do it.
We're gonna get a suit, 3-piece suit with some white shoes.
I'm about to get married, man. And also, I'm in the process of stamping CLA. It's stamped already.
Yeah, going through the nonprofit process isn't an easy task, so I get it.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a process.
You gotta go through it, and it takes some time. But
And
so tell them what CLA is gonna do real quick.
Okay, CLA, which is Civic Leadership Association, man. We focus on, our primary focus is building leaders or helping bring the leaders out of people that already had the qualities. We want to equip you with the tools to become a better version of yourself every single day. And we're not just gonna pick a group of people, marginalize a group of people, and give them some type of resources and then leave their life. We want to go with this through step. So the good thing is, through my partner Kiana, that's my mentor.
It's a good mentor to have.
Beautiful mentor, and a lot of other organizations that have bonded on with us. We want to make sure that CLA want to make sure that we run you through every possible organization it is, because we cater on leadership. That's our main focus. But you may be into the flipping houses, and Kiana into, in a different space. So we want to make sure that you have all the proper resources just so you can graduate. And what I mean by graduate, I mean by mature on each level. I mean, because like I say, man, young men right now, they lack in leadership. That's the reason why CLA came about in prison.
Yeah.
They had a lack of leadership. Okay, and also I'm starting my own company. I came up with a product. I came up with a product. They have a young guy that I know that was an engineer at LSU. Me and him sit down and discuss this product, and I told him what I think the chemicals can be to make this product. He took it back to his lab, man, and he called me 2 weeks ago and told me, man, hey, man, I think I'm finished with your product. I haven't tested, but because I want you to be present. He said, man, give me a date and
What
time.
is the chemical? Without spilling the beans, I don't want the world to know.
This is hush hush.
Look.
What's it gonna do?
I'm going into soft washing houses. And, but the chemical that people use to do it now, the chemical that we created, that I created, oh no, take it back, I'm sorry about saying that we created, is totally, totally different, because it's not just the chemical, it's the respiration in the chemical. If you live in a wood house, we don't want to stand there with a pressure washer, because it's going to damage your house, right? So the chemical actually restored the wood, and we don't have to use a pressure washer. You spray it on your house, and you walk away for maybe 10 minutes, come back with a hose
You
pipe.
let me know when you start selling that chemical, because I do pressure washing on the side. And,
Okay.
I will if it's the magic.
I'll pitch the products too, man. I'll get on board. You got a sales team right
now,
here.
If that product comes to light, that's gonna be a game changer.
It's going to be a game changer.
Yeah, I'm proud of you for that.
Yes.
You got a name for it? It's gonna be called Shane Wash.
No,
look.
Actually, I have the name for it. BMD's Soft Wash Company.
Beverly Johnson. No.
Beverly Mackenzie Dessa Soft Wash. I'm Beverly. My daughter's name is Mackenzie. My girl's name is Dessa.
There you go.
BMD's Soft Wash Company. You have to be creative and innovative out here, man.
That's right.
Because a lot of guys, because we about to wrap up, so you like, look,
Battery going dead.
right. I just want to inspire some men right fast, man.
Well, the fact that you have only been home 8 months and you already got these things in motion, I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that you're gonna continue to be a huge success, and
That's right.
you're gonna make it.
I coined the slogan, man, which is, next time I come, I'm going to have that T-shirt on next, right?
Well, leave us with it.
I'm going to leave y'all with it, man. This what it is. Starve your distraction and feed your focus. Whatever your distractions are, and we know our vulnerabilities better than anybody being incarcerated, you have to starve those things, and you have to feed your focus. You can't never get off that square. You
That
can't
sounds
never
prophetic.
get out. I mean,
Amen.
Amen. Hey man, look at the gray man. I'm the Black Santa Claus.
Oh, you look awesome, by the way.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man.
He got that sheen.
Thank you, man.
Listening. All right, everybody. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Thank you, Shane, Beverly.
Yes, sir.
For coming on here.
Anytime.
And we'll see you next time.
Anytime. Thank y'all, man, for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Big shout out to Kiana.
Kiana.